Summer 1967. We moved from Winnipeg to Meadow Lake, 200 miles north of Saskatoon. It had 8 grain elevators, a post office, and an old house that we rented for a year. Lorne came to visit, but he was no longer living with us. We went to visit Brant relatives in Clearbrook, BC that Christmas. Dad was pastor at Grace Mennonite Church, and we were building a new house, the parsonage, next door. Loretta and Dave were living in an apartment in Saskatoon. It was fun to visit them next to a freeway in the big city. And they came to Meadow Lake too. Here we are on a summer Sunday after church. Horsing around with the camp counselors at the Jeanette Lake Bible Camp, where we had campfire testimonials, did crafts, had lessons, and hung out as Dad became director. August 1968, we went to celebrate Grandma and Grandpa's 50th wedding anniversary. A good gathering of cousins at the Clearbrook Bible Institute. Back in the Meadow Lake Provincial Park, our church boys group built paddle boards, and we had a lot of fun with them. I loved reading, here in our living room in our modern bungalow, next to the old church. Dear friends, the Andrews family visited us in Meadow Lake, and we often spent time on their farm, even finding a rustic shack in the woods to play at being a hippie. In fall, I went out for after-school football and even got Mum to sew me a uniform. Reading again, this time on a visit to Loretta and Dave in their apartment. And then everyone's home for Christmas. At school, I entered and won a poster contest, and was a pretty cool teenager, maybe. We made a big trip back to our home province and visited at Uncle Victor's and more. Back in Meadow Lake that fall, our church underwent a major addition for an improved look. It was great to have my older siblings return for holiday reunions. A candle-lit dinner was very special, and then it's goodbye again as Lorne leaves. Late April, 71. Our yard flooded, but Lloyd was home for a visit. Poster making again, in my giant bedroom in the basement. All mine since Les and Lloyd had moved out. Posters, fancy lights, and even a tuba. My aunt's grandparents came all the way from Winkler, Manitoba to visit us in Meadow Lake. Anna Marie and I admire our first niece, tiny Candace, born to our sister Loretta July 4th. That August we loaded up some farm friend's truck. It was time for another move. Dad had a new job and we were heading south. Halfway to our new home in Swift Current, we rested with our Meadow Lake farm truck family friends, the Timmers, then finished the trip later that day. This was our home, just east of downtown Swift Current, and I lived here 3 years, taking grades 10, 11, and 12. A picnic in Elmwood Park with Brant grandparents. Candace visits us, and siblings too. We're all on our way to southern Manitoba for Brother Les's wedding. Our first Christmas in Swift Current. Good to have Lloyd home at least. We still had the paddle boards and they were good fun on snow too. Stephen and I made a snow person, and then it was spring. Dad was teaching at SCBI, a small Bible college on the edge of town. It operated a motel in summer which doubled as student dorms in the winter. Across the road was the Swift Current Arena where I watched the Broncos play and saw a few concerts. In Saskatoon to visit my sister Loretta and family for my 16th birthday. I wonder, can I eat the whole thing? Stephen and I played hockey, getting ready for winter. It snowed in late September that year, but soon melted. Grandma Brant came to join us for Christmas that year. That summer I was part of an OFY project, producing a community news weekly for free distribution. My smile was used for promotion. A big family Christmas. Good to have all the sibs and spouses home, exchange gifts, and play together. Last photos of our church, our house, my bedroom window top right beside the chimney, and our backyard. July 1974. I trimmed myself and prepared to leave home. I would take the bus to Winnipeg.